Good evening, people. Well, it's election season in New Zealand again. We've got an election coming up at the end of the year. And one of the hot button topics that always comes up in every New Zealand election is the legalisation of marijuana. Now, as I've mentioned many times on this channel before, once upon a time ago, I was very hardline straight edge. I'm still straight edge, but I try and be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to drug use and so on and so forth. And a long time ago, I was very anti-weed use, very anti-weed everything, very anti-whatever. But as I've gotten older, I've realised that there are a lot of benefits to legalising marijuana. Now, personally, should it be any party's main focus? No. I think we have a lot more issues such as poverty, the housing crisis and so on to deal with first, but I definitely think that marijuana legalisation should be an issue that's addressed sooner rather than later. Now, quite frankly, using Portugal as an example, I think, realistically, legalise all of it. Legalise all drugs, just like Portugal's done. You know? Portugal's crime rate has gone down dramatically since they legalised fucking everything, you know? Along with that, there are clean heroin clinics where people can go and get clean needles without worrying that they're getting dirty needles and shit, and they can slowly wean themselves off if they so wish. Now, I'm not comparing marijuana to heroin, but the thing is, if we legalise marijuana in New Zealand, that takes a lot of power away from a lot of the gangs. You know? You can, in theory, trust whatever marijuana you buy in stores in the same way that you generally expect cigarettes and alcohol not to be tampered with. There's a lot of revenue, there's a lot of use out of hemp, and there's the big one, which is cannabis as a medicinal thing, right? You know, help pain relief for cancer patients, help decrease the nausea in people going through chemotherapy. You know, cannabis oil has been shown to shrink tumours. You know, cannabis oil has been shown to help people who have full-blown seizures with their seizures. Sure, there are some people that all of the purported medical uses for marijuana won't help. For example, there are some people where marijuana makes their anxiety worse rather than makes it better, but it can calm some people down. Therefore, I do think it has some merit in legalising marijuana because of the practical uses, not just the recreational use. And as far as the recreational use goes, we waste a lot less government money persecuting people just for blazing a J at the end of the day. Now then, with this subject, you get people on both sides of the fence. You get people who are vehemently against anywhere legalising marijuana, and you get the people that are so rabidly for it, it's ridiculous. You know? Now, I think there are very good arguments, mainly for the legalisation of marijuana. To be honest, there aren't a hell of a lot of great reasons to stop it from being legalised that I can think of off the top of my head. Actually, to be honest, there are no good arguments I can think of for not legalising it, whereas I can think of several good arguments for doing so. However, you see dumb arguments on either side of the fence, because as this is a hot button subject, you get a lot of people giving opinions where they just don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know, for example, on the we shouldn't legalise it side of the fence, you get a lot of people who will say that, you know, it will destroy families, it will decrease productivity, people get addicted, you know, we'll have all these crimes and so on and so forth. No, that's silly. A lot of the people that are coming up with all of these reasons to not legalise it are pulling their arguments straight out of things like the movie Reefer Madness. The thing is, there are no statistics in places where marijuana has been legalised that say that crime has gone up, or that people are ruining their lives, or that it is going to be the end of society as we know it. For the most part, people that don't smoke it still won't smoke it. Sure, there might be a slight increase because some people just don't do it because it's illegal and they'd rather not risk it, but let's call a spade here. Most people who want to smoke weed smoke weed anyway. It's not exactly like it's something that a lot of people don't do just cause it's illegal. Let's be honest, this argument wouldn't exist, this whole debate wouldn't be a thing, if it was a just argument to a good majority in the first place. The people that want to use it recreationally probably smoke the shit anyway. You know, a lot of them already do it, so really, you can't say that it'll be the end of society because, hey, society. You know, there are a lot of people that do it, a lot of people you probably wouldn't expect because not everybody that uses it walks around in the weed leaf t-shirts and so on and so forth and expects brownie points for their drug habit. On the other end of the scale, you do still get some pretty cringy things coming from the other side of the argument as well. You get the people that try and overstate what a good thing marijuana is. You get people that act like it's freaking broccoli with no side effects, when really it affects all people differently. For some people it is the ultimate medicine, for others it just leads them down an even darker fucking alleyway. You know? And then you get the people that say such silly shit as, if we legalize marijuana it will end all wars and people will live in peace and harmony. That's an actual argument I have seen several times in New Zealand-based news groups, and if I can find such an example, I will link it down below in my description, because people genuinely try and use that as an argument as to why marijuana should be legalized. Let's be honest, if that's the type of thing you're arguing, I kinda think you're smoking something stronger than marijuana and you should probably stop. But you see, as I say, I think we should legalize it. I believe there are a lot of upsides to it and there aren't a whole hell of a lot of downsides. If there are downsides, it is a case-by-case basis, and I think we should keep it away from those people in particular, if it's just recreational, or if you think it's something that will magically cure their depression and it just makes them worse. Those are the people we should keep it away from. It's like anything, you know, make it a controlled substance. You get people saying we should stop selling alcohol because of this, that and the other thing, and the problems with alcohol come from alcohol abuse, the same way that a lot of marijuana problems would come from people using it in an irresponsible and ridiculous manner. A lot of the but alcohol's worst arguments to me sound like arguments to criminalize alcohol rather than legalize marijuana, but that's neither here nor there. My point is, a lot of the downsides to legalizing it are in theory. A lot of the upsides are things that are reported from countries and from states within America that have already legalized it, and we have statistical factual data to basically back this shit up. So yeah, yet again, I say, sweet, legalize it. Don't make it the focal point of your party's campaign. Don't make it the only thing you think of if you're a Kiwi and you're watching this and you want to pick a party or a preferred Prime Minister or what have you. Just keep it in mind, and yeah, I personally think it's long overdue. We need to stop treating people like criminals just for smoking a plant. At the end of the day, when there's worse shit readily available, I personally think that there are dumb arguments on either side, but not stupid enough to completely cripple how I feel. And I really think that, you know, good things will come from it. And even if not good things, I don't think it will be the end of society and ruin families. You can't get physically addicted to marijuana. You can get psychologically addicted, but you can get psychologically addicted to anything, really. You can get psychologically addicted to fucking video games. You can get psychologically addicted to potato chips. You know, again, it's a case-by-case thing. Yet again, keep hammering it home. I think it should be legalized. But hey, that's just me. What do you think? Feel free to sound off in the comments. Feel free to subscribe if you're a new viewer. I'm Damien Skyfire. Till next time.